if we're going to move past the racial injustice that we see every day through this criminal system, we got to start figuring out alternatives to respond to our brokenness.
What alternatives can we do besides calling the police? Can we get neighborhoods or social workers or mental health responders, instead of calling the police, can we get a support system and increase safety and security in our neighborhoods or wherever areas we're in? So for everyday situations, is there a better alternative than calling the police? Who else can you call? And that this is about building strong relationships in your neighborhood and maybe exposing your kids to people outside of your neighborhood, different cultures.
So we need to stop pushing for laws that strengthen our racist criminal system. This stuff is going to be uncomfortable, right? As folks, for me, as a middle-class white lady who lives in the suburbs and drives a minivan, right? I grew up being taught that if there's a problem, what do? I call the police. We need to learn not to do that. We need to learn not to see the police as the solution to our problems. So when we get upset about gun violence, if we're calling for increased penalties for using a gun during a crime, that call is strengthening a racist system. If we ask the police to respond to bullies in schools, we're strengthening a racist system. When we call the police because our neighbor's kids are having a loud party, or there's a panhandling in downtown Evanston, or people are biking on the sidewalk, that's strengthening this racist system. If your town, like Evanston, the biggest budget item in our whole city budget, which is $1 bazillion, the biggest budget item is our police force. That budget decision is strengthening a racist system.
I think it really just also makes us ask, what are the ways in which we can be safe without having to rely on strangers to show up for us? How can we call the people that we love and we know, who are family members or neighbors or whomever, into a relationship that's COVID sensitive, but still, maybe it's an opportunity to build a stronger relationship with people in your life so that you don't have to rely on calling a stranger to respond to a critical need.
We have had so many decades, I know I have at least, of growing up, in a rural community and where the default for conflict was to call the police. And so shifting our mindset around that is so crucial, but it's scary and it's hard. And it's something that really is going to force us, like Brian Stevenson urges us to get uncomfortable. And it's a real uncomfortable process, but one that can bring about some change.